Hello and welcome back to Catch-Up Farm. So today's on the model farm, week 15, season 2. There's a lot going on, so let's get into it. So over here we've got a few of the Yanmars attachments just parked up. It's out on a job, you'll see it in a minute. Low loaders just parked up, starting to get quite run down, this low loader, but still works well mechanically, it's sound. Got the drag chain harrows still on the trailer because we haven't really needed the trailer for anything. And then the rollers just parked up, quite muddy. The fuel tanks there. So obviously last time the cattle went out, and as I said, Sean will be renting out this building here, and he is. So he's got his firewood processor set up in here. He's encroached on the yard quite a bit with this pile of logs, which we're a bit annoyed by, because he didn't originally say about it, and it can be a bit of a pain getting the low loader backed in here. So after he's cut that up, we're going to have words with him about not piling his wood there, maybe saying put it in there where the mass is at the moment. And then he's got all this wood down the side, where we used to have attachments, and we never said he could have this outside space, we only said in the building, so that'd be interesting. But he's got the cat skid steer, just in that, moving a big old log, about to throw it on the processor on his case. It's quite an old processor, but it still works really well. And his Jeep's fucked up. The scraper cat is on the bucket, so it's been a proper bobcat for once. It was being used quite a lot to sort out the pit. Then we got the Class Scorpion telehandler, top windows open. We were moving some bits around with it earlier. And the grabs on that Red Rock tanker, the cattle box, and all the equipment in the shed lined up nicely. And then the small bit of hay and straw we got left, and a flat 8 sat up on top. So the pit is empty. We sold what was in the pit to the local AD plant. We got the telehandler's bucket, the chain harrows, and the scraper blade off the scraper cat. And then we got all the equipment parked up, or forks and attachments. We have a sheep that's escaped out in this field here, just eating at the hedge, got out from a neighbouring field because we moved them. And then here we have a Ford 6640 Power Star with a front linkage. So as you might have noticed already, the Kubota is not with us this week. It's still down in Wales with DJD Farming Life. Probably been sent to the scrap yard by him by now, or he would have got it stuck on purpose just to make Kubota look bad. But I'm sure it'll be serving him well, regardless how much abuse he puts it through. But we've got this on demo from our local dealership, because we were looking for another tractor as well as a Kubota, something that's hasn't got a loader, because the Kubota is great, but we need something without a loader as well, just for doing a few odd jobs and having more of the road speed, because the Kubota we have is only an M9960, so it's great for the country lanes, but you wouldn't want to take it massively fast. We're also looking at another bigger Kubota possibly. Anyway, we've got the Joskin tipper out, once and forever, hauling a load of stone down to a job. And then this yard is very cramped, so we've got the 3C. We started her up and moved her up to this yard. She'll probably sit here for a while yet. The bale sled, the bale trailer and the little dump trailer all moved up into this yard, because we've now sold that other yard because it was just impractical for us. And then further down here we have the NC dump cart on the back of the 6820. We've done all the forestry guarding on it, but it hasn't had a whole lot of forestry work, but it's still got a lot of work. And the contractor has sort of given up on this field, I think, after his post knocker got stolen. He couldn't afford to get another one, so he hasn't been able to finish it. But we might be getting one ourselves, so we might have to help him out eventually. But anyway, the 6820 is just tearing down the road there, hauling fully loaded NC dump trailer. And the cows are still out getting on well, loving life in this field. Down at Sean's yard, quite a lot's happened. As you can see, he's dug out this last piece up against the edge of his land. He's done all of that with his little mini digger that he bought off of us, and then hauled it away just on his trailer and with his Jeep. And yeah, so he's going to be putting a panel fence up there soon. And then he thinks it might be a bit much trying to take all the bank out completely with this Mini. Although it's doable, because that was a hell of a job doing that with his Mini. He's been thinking about hiring another digger, not as big as the one he hired before. Something like the Yanmar, just take the rest of this out. Because he's stopped using this track completely now. So we can sort of block that off and dig all this out and make more yard space. Because obviously when the cows come back in, he won't have our barn to do firewood in. He's got all the timber on the trailer here ready to do his panel fence. And then he's Komatsu forwarders parts up. He's been doing a lot of work the past couple of weeks. And as you would notice, all the wood that was sat there has gone up to the castle building. So nothing's really going on this field. We managed to get a bit of flirt out on it the last week. And then over in the bog, this piece of land that we own, the 3C was moved, and then Mike's pickups there, and there's the Yanmar just digging it out. We're going to gravel it, which is where all that gravel's going to, and then we're going to use this as a trailer park. Put a gate up there so people can't get in, because it's only us that use this area. And then it'll be a lot easier, better place to store our trailers, and it's a bit closer to home as well. And this field's getting on well. It's all empty, it's been sold. It's a plant hire and tool hire company that bought it, so they're going to be renovating it over the next few weeks. It'll be interesting to see what ends up in here, and this field here is getting along well. That's pretty much it. The one thing I forgot to mention is the Case Puma is in the workshop with Richard, just doing that for its yearly service. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this week. Check out my Instagram, there's loads of stuff for sale at the moment which can help fund some upgrades of a lot of equipment, which would be quite nice. And make sure you keep an eye out on DJD Farming Ice, that Model Lad channel, to keep an eye out for the video of what he thinks of the Kubota. It's going to be a very interesting video to say the least. But anyway, that's it for now, and see you again soon.